So let's address the bald-headed elephant in the room right now, as the Pittsburgh Steelers looked like they were going to have the same old offense and the same old lack of excitement and the same old lack of creativity and firepower on offense. But then the fourth quarter came, and the Steelers did something that they haven't done all season prior to yesterday, which was score back-to-back touchdowns on the ground. 2 touchdowns on the ground that we've had, and you seen them both yesterday. Monday morning, everybody. I'm Mac, back with another video, as this is my Victory Monday for the Pittsburgh Steelers. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram, link in the box below. So with the 24-17 win over the Rams yesterday, obviously there's a lot to talk about, whether you want to take away from the controversial call, the horseshit reffing on both ends, couple of, bad decisions overall, including Mike Tomlin's wasted challenge, terrible misuses by both teams, whatever you want to throw out there. But how about Matt Canada? Because, like I said at the beginning, there is no way feasible that you can convince me, whether you're a Steeler fan, a Rams fan, anyone else. There's no way feasible you can convince me otherwise that offense in the fourth quarter, when we outscored LA 14-0, that was Matt Canada's offense. And you want to know why? Because you saw his reaction up there in the press. You saw his reaction. He was very upset and he was very disappointed. More specifically with the game tying touchdown. And I don't know why. You would think that an offensive coordinator who's calling the offense, and the guy who draws up the plays, and the guy who's BFFs with Mike Tomlin, would show some enthusiasm and he would show some excitement that, hey, we're on the brink of beating a pretty good Rams team. But no, that isn't the case. Unless he wasn't fully influenced with the play calling in that particular quarter and in that particular moment. Unless he gave more freedom to Kenny Pickett. Unless that was his play call. But I can tell you right here, right now, as a fan of the team who has watched this OC call the shots on offense for the better part of the last 3 years now, I can tell you there is no way that was his offense. Because isn't this the same guy, Steeler fans, all right? Isn't this the same guy who said that this offense is not built to come back from deficits? I mean, geez, I know 17-10 isn't like an insurmountable deficit. It's a one-possession game. But he flat out said, we can't come back from a deficit. We can't come back to win a game. Well, we did come back to win a game, Matt. And you know why we came back to win the game? It's not because of your offense. It's because Kenny Pickett took the reins, and Kenny Pickett turned in a good, not great performance yesterday. His best, in my opinion, his best game that he had since week 3. And those 2 drives that both resulted in touchdowns, they're your only 2 rushing touchdowns of the entire season. And I can't emphasize it enough. The Steelers got punched in the mouth all day yesterday when it came to ball control. There was a point, going in the fourth quarter, the Rams had more than triple the amount of plays that we had offensively. and they had the ball for almost twice as long as we had. And then the fourth quarter comes, and it's like, I don't know who took control of the fourth quarter. I don't know what kind of play calls were going through what players' minds in the fourth quarter. But whatever it is, I'd love to see more of it, not only next week, but moving forward as well. Because I observed it. Of course I did. I was sitting down here right here watching the game. Kenny Pickett looked very smooth and safe in the pocket when weeks prior it seemed like he was panicking in the pocket and he was overthinking everything in the pocket. But now it's like he's more calm, he's more collected. He was reading the defense better. His reads were on time. His throws were accurate. And he just seemed like the type of quarterback that we saw a lot of in the preseason. Again, I hate to go back to the preseason, but that's the number one thing that we have to fall back on with Kenny Pickett. But if you want to go to a regular season play where the games matter, he looked like the Kenny Pickett towards the end of last season. Deontay Johnson, one of the whipping boys on my channel, he was a big asset yesterday, minus that stupid personal foul that he had with Ahkello Witherspoon with the pass interference and then his personal foul that offset it, okay? But he was a big asset. George Pickens, nothing needs to be said more about him. He was just his typical self yesterday. Big play after big play after big play. Clutch catch after clutch catch after clutch catch. And the running game was getting big chunks of yards on the ground after, like I said, LA was punching us in the mouth all day offensively in every aspect. And Matt Canada can't show any enthusiasm with that. He can't show any excitement with that. Well, then the way I see it, whether it's the play, whether it's his play calling just getting better, or him being like, well, I called the wrong play, but the offense was just able to pick me up in that particular moment, or him not having any influence at all. My fact of this matter still remains. Matt Canada, just stay in LA, brother. For real. Because the way I see it, this is your last season with the Steelers being the offensive coordinator. Fingers crossed, I really do hope that is the case. So, I mean, you may as well just stay in LA. Because unless Kenny Pickett was audibling or, you gave him more freedom with the play calling in the fourth quarter because you finally realized that, hey, my play calling sucks and we're not going to get anywhere offensively with the way I'm calling the shots on offense. I don't know. I don't know what happened. The fans don't know what happened. The only people that know for sure what happened in that fourth quarter offensively are Matt Canada and Mike Tomlin. Because you know that those two are BFFs and you always know that they're going to, exchange the love letters with each other. But whatever the case was, either you need to carry that momentum into next week and certainly for the rest of the season, or you need to just step down altogether. Because which offense are we going to see? Are we going to see the offense that just does hitches and sideline shots every single time? Are we going to see the offense that can barely get past the line of scrimmage with a running play? Are we going to have to see the offense that needs to have Najee Harris not have a lead blocker every single time and him having to fight for those precious chunks of yards? Are we going to have the offense that sees that Jalen Warren's literally carrying the load with the offense? Or is it going to be the offense that I saw and that every Steeler fan saw in the fourth quarter? Which one was it, Matt? Was that you or was that the players? As a matter of fact, I know that wasn't you, Matt. But if it was you, hey, please keep up the good work. Because that was incredible what I saw in the fourth quarter. But I know for sure, watching this guy for 3 years, that wasn't him. But show some emotion. For God's sake, man, show some emotion. We beat a good Rams team, and we're 4-2. It may be a hollow 4-2, but we're still 4-2. And we're not dead yet as far as the division title goes. As far as the division race goes, I should say. We ain't dead yet. Do I expect the offense to continue this next week against Jacksonville? No. But for God's sake, I'm sitting down here showing more emotion than this guy shows with the entire season so far, because he did the very same thing a few weeks prior against the Ravens on the game-winning touchdown pass from Kenny Pickett to George Pickens. Same exact thing. How about you take some interest, Matt? How about you get involved a little bit more? And how about you actually come up with some plays that benefit this offense? Because we get punched in the mouth like against Jacksonville, and Kenny Pickett doesn't look smooth, and the offensive line is bleak again, and, you know, we have some more careless penalties. I can guarantee you we ain't going to have a comeback against Jacksonville. It's going to be exactly what you said. It's going to be an offense that can't come back from a deficit. Do better, Matt. The Steelers won yesterday in spite of you, and quite frankly, in spite of Mike Tomlin once again, but more so in spite of you. Do better, bro. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Mac, checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody.